Miguel Cotto didn't just fight, he dissected, dismantled, and destroyed with quiet precision. No theatrics, no trash talk, just a cold stare and fist that spoke in thunder. He marched forward, absorbing pain and delivering it back in ruthless fashion. They called him quiet, until he silenced the loudest mouths in boxing. They called him basic, until he conquered 4 weight divisions, leaving behind sweat, scars, and championship gold. Mayweather, Pacquiao, Margarito, Canelo. He didn't chase easy wins. He chased legacies, walked into wars, and came out a legend. And now, he's not chasing headlines, he owns them. With a $25 million empire, luxury estates in Puerto Rico, Ferraris, Bentleys, and watches that gleam like the battles he won, Cotto remains a force beyond the ring. From the grind of Bairoa Gym to the roar of Madison Square Garden, he turned discipline into dominance and pain into power. So, before we dive into the grit, the glory, and the granite-hearted greatness of Puerto Rico's silent storm, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Because this isn't just a boxing story, it's the legend of Miguel Cotto and the empire he built with blood, silence, and steel. Miguel Ángel Cotto Vázquez was born on October 29, 1980, in Providence, Rhode Island, a far cry from the tropical streets and fighting spirit of the island he would one day come to represent. But fate had other plans. Before he turned 2, his family returned to Caguas, Puerto Rico, bringing him back to the soil that would shape his destiny. There, he grew up surrounded by boxing bloodlines. His father, Miguel Sr., his brother, Jose Miguel, his cousin, Abner, and his uncle, Evangelista, who would later become his trainer. But he didn't step into the gym chasing glory. He went in to lose weight, a quiet boy just trying to better himself. Boxing wasn't just in his blood. It became his identity. What started as a way to burn calories became a way of life, a calling. He rose through the amateur ranks with discipline and fire, representing Puerto Rico on the grandest stages, from the Pan American Games to the Olympics. And when he turned pro in 2001, the world would come to learn what Puerto Rico already knew. This man was different. Over the next 17 years, Miguel Cotto carved out a legacy built on war. He wasn't the flashiest. He didn't dance around opponents. He went through them. From light welterweight to middleweight, he captured world titles in 4 different weight divisions, something no other Puerto Rican boxer had ever done. But his legacy wasn't just written in gold belts. It was forged in blood, bruises, and unforgettable battles with the likes of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Antonio Margarito, and Canelo Alvarez. He won. He lost. He got up. Again and again. At his peak, he was ranked among the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And by the end of his career, he had earned not just respect, but reverence. By 2025, his net worth is estimated at $25 million, a fortune forged not through hype, but through heart. So how did this soft-spoken warrior rise from the shadows to become a multi-division world champion and a symbol of Puerto Rican pride? And what did he sacrifice along the way? That's the story we're about to tell. In the summer of 1998, under the bright lights of Buenos Aires, a young Miguel Cotto stood in the ring at the Junior World Championships with the quiet composure of someone much older. Puerto Rico's hopes rested on his shoulders, but he didn't flinch. He delivered, a silver medal earned through tactical brilliance and sheer will. He outpointed tough opponents from Ukraine, Canada, and Lithuania before narrowly losing to Russia's Anton Salipov in a bitterly close 8-9 bout. It wasn't gold, but it was a glimpse into the future. He wasn't just another fighter. He was a craftsman in the making. The years that followed saw him grinding through amateur tournaments, Pan American Games, World Championships, but the gold kept slipping through his fingers. Cotto turned the page differently. With an amateur record of 125 wins and 23 losses, he made the leap to the professional ranks in 2001, trading headgear and point scoring for knockouts and real consequences. Almost immediately, it became clear he had not only brought his technical acumen, but was learning how to hurt people. He started dispatching seasoned veterans like John Brown with ease, catching the eyes of boxing insiders. But just as his ascent began, fate tried to write a different ending. After a grueling, early morning training session, Cotto nodded off behind the wheel. His car veered, crashed, and left him with a broken arm. The whispers started, maybe he wasn't built for this. But true champions aren't measured by the smoothness of their journey. They're measured by the way they rise after the crash. 2 years later, in September 2003, a fully healed Cotto returned to Las Vegas and put on a performance that sent a message to the world. Facing Dimitrios Sabalos, he danced between orthodox and southpaw stances like a maestro, breaking his opponent down with precision before finishing him in the 7th round. It wasn't just a win, it was an announcement. The kid from Caguas was coming for the throne. In September 2004, that promise crystallized in a championship gold. Standing across from him was Kelson Pinto, the same Brazilian who had twice beaten him in the amateurs. This was personal, and in front of a roaring home crowd in San Juan, Cotto erased those memories with brutal efficiency, knocking Pinto down 3 times en route to a 6th-round knockout. Puerto Rico didn't just have a new champion, they had a new king. He ruled the junior welterweight division with an iron jaw and surgical fists. Randall Bailey was battered into submission in 6 rounds. DeMarcus Corley couldn't survive past the 5th. But one name loomed large, Muhammad Abdullah, the same man who had crushed Cotto's Olympic dreams. Their rematch took place in the iconic Madison Square Garden in 2005, and this time, there were no judges needed. He punished Abdullah for 9 relentless rounds until the doctor waved it off, his opponent's eyes swollen shut from the onslaught. The ghosts of Sydney were finally laid to rest, and Madison Square Garden, under its famous lights, began to feel like home. He fought like a surgeon with a hammer, precise yet destructive. The war with Ricardo Torres tested his chin and his will, but he emerged victorious in a firefight that left fans breathless. He handed Paulie Malignaggi his first loss, breaking his orbital bone and jaw in the process. By 2006, Cotto had done what few ever do, clean out an entire division. But true greatness doesn't linger. It climbs. In December 2006, he moved up to welterweight and dismantled Carlos Quintana with ruthless bodywork, claiming the WBA title. Then came Zab Judah, then Shane Mosley. Cotto didn't just beat elite fighters, he outclassed them. He wasn't just fighting anymore, he was building a legacy. By 2008, he was 32-0 and considered one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. That summer, he walked into the ring to face Antonio Margarito, a relentless Mexican brawler. For 9 rounds, Cotto boxed beautifully. Then something shifted. Margarito kept coming, absorbing shots, walking through fire. And in the 11th, he broke Cotto, bloodied and battered. Cotto took a knee as his corner threw in the towel. The undefeated record was gone, and with it, a piece of his spirit. But that loss would later reveal a deeper betrayal. Before Margarito's next fight, he was caught with illegal hand wraps. The implication was chilling. Had Cotto been beaten not by skill, but by loaded gloves? It wasn't just a loss anymore. It was a theft. The road back wasn't easy, but he never chose the easy path. In 2009, he returned to Madison Square Garden and claimed another world title by stopping Michael Jennings. Then came Joshua Clottey, a brutal war that Cotto won despite a gruesome cut over his eye. And then, the ultimate challenge, Manny Pacquiao. Their clash in November 2009 was less a fight and more storm. Pacquiao's speed and power overwhelmed Cotto, stopping him in the 12th. It could have been the end. It should have been the end. Instead, it was a rebirth. Cotto moved up to junior middleweight and joined forces with the legendary Emanuel Stewart. The result? A masterful performance against Yuri Foreman at Yankee Stadium in 2010, making Cotto a 3-division world champion. He defended the title against Ricardo Mayorga, and then came the moment he'd waited for. The rematch with Margarito. This time, it wasn't even close. Cotto didn't just beat Margarito. He broke him, targeting his surgically repaired eye until doctors had to stop the fight. Justice had finally been served. Even in defeat, Cotto earned respect. His 2012 clash with Floyd Mayweather was one of the toughest of Mayweather's career. Though he lost on the scorecards, he won the admiration of fans and critics alike. But a follow-up loss to Austin Trout threatened to dim his star. Then came the final evolution. Under trainer Freddie Roach, a rejuvenated Cotto annihilated Delvin Rodriguez in 2013. But few believed he'd actually challenge Sergio Martinez, the reigning middleweight king. Cotto didn't just challenge him, he destroyed him, dropping Martinez 3 times in the first round and forcing a 9th-round stoppage. With that win, he became the first Puerto Rican fighter to win world titles in 4 divisions. Though a close loss to Canelo Alvarez in 2015 followed, he had nothing left to prove. Still, he gave the fans one last run. In 2017, he captured the WBO junior middleweight title with a dominant performance over Yoshihiro Kamigai. For his farewell fight, he returned to Madison Square Garden, his cathedral, and faced Saddam Ali. Fate had one last twist. Cotto tore his bicep mid-fight and lost a decision. But by then, the results no longer mattered. He walked away with 41 wins, 33 knockouts, 6 world titles, and a legacy carved from pain, pride, and perseverance. So the question becomes, in a world of protected records and cherry-picked opponents, will boxing ever produce another warrior like Miguel Cotto? Leave a comment with your thoughts. Away from the roar of the crowd and the blood-stained canvas, Cotto found his true strength at home. He's married to Melissa Guzman, the woman who stood by him through victories and defeats, injuries and comebacks. Together, they raised 3 children, Luis, Alondra, and Miguel Cotto III. But his heart stretches even further. In November 2006, during the peak of his career, he welcomed a daughter from a previous relationship. It was a moment that could have caused scandal. Instead, it became another chapter in the story of a man who never ran from responsibility, inside the ring or out. His fearless image caught the eye of fashion mogul Mark Ecko. In a sport full of talkers, his silent intensity made him the face of Ecko Arnold, a brand that crafted both his boxing gear and streetwear for his fans. He wasn't just a champion in gloves. He became a style icon, too. His ambition has always extended beyond the ropes of the boxing ring. As the founder of promotions Miguel Cotto, he has played a pivotal role in nurturing Puerto Rican boxing talent, creating a platform for young fighters to chase their dreams. But his entrepreneurial spirit didn't stop there. Cotto has quietly built a diverse portfolio, investing in real estate and other ventures across Puerto Rico, using his success to fuel opportunities at home. His business moves are strategic, but deeply personal, each one a step toward building a legacy that outlives his time in the spotlight. At the same time, his philanthropic efforts reveal a man rooted in service. Whether supporting health initiatives or educational causes, Cotto has remained committed to uplifting his community, proving that a true champion's impact isn't measured just in titles, but in the lives they touch along the way. For Miguel Cotto, retirement didn't mean retreat, it meant refinement. In the quiet hills of Caguas, Puerto Rico, he crafted a sanctuary far from the chaos of the ring. His home, a masterstroke of elegance and serenity, isn't just a symbol of success. It's a reflection of a man who's fought for every inch of peace he now enjoys. His garage tells a story just as powerful, a carefully curated collection of high-performance machines that mirror his relentless drive. Though he keeps the full details private, glimpses of his prize cars have turned heads. Sleek Ferraris that roar with Italian passion, aggressive Lamborghinis that embody raw power, and refined Porsches built for precision. These aren't mere status symbols or fleeting indulgences. They are extensions of Cotto's competitive spirit. Vehicles that command the road with the same intensity he once commanded the ring. Step inside his world, and it becomes clear that his life is one of deliberate luxury. He wears time on his wrist with Rolex precision, his suits tailored by the finest designers, each detail chosen to reflect the same discipline and elegance that defined his boxing career. But beyond the polished surface lies a deeper layer. His private training facility, still alive with the sounds of gloves hitting pads and the echoes of past battles. It's a space where he sharpens his own skills and, more importantly, mentors the next generation, passing on a legacy forged by sweat and sacrifice. Perhaps the most revealing corner of his life is his personal collection, a treasure trove of boxing history. Championship belts glimmer under the lights. Autographed gloves from legends whisper stories of triumph and struggle. Relics that don't just decorate his walls, but anchor his identity. Miguel Cotto's lifestyle is more than material wealth. It's a narrative of grit, refinement, and legacy. Even as the spotlight fades, his greatness casts a long shadow. Yet, as he shapes the future from the sidelines, one question remains. Can the fire of a warrior ever truly be extinguished, or does it blaze anew in a different ring? Before you go, don't miss out on exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member and enjoy awesome benefits, like suggesting future video topics, getting early access to new content 48 hours before anyone else, and much more. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you the stories you love. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And while you're here, why not check out our deep dive into Teofimo Lopez's video? Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.